staff would like to remind everybody about lunch dessert, the most important meal of the day. We will be serving elephant ears, sponsored by the Animal Farm. They are not real elephant ears. It is a name of a pastry. Thank you.
Yeah, Kenny. Hello, boys and girls. It's
Hey,
me,
Uncle
Uncle Luigi.
That's right.
Here today to tell you the story
Mm-hmm.
of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Just Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, you want me to say it again?
No.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
I
What
get
do you
it.
want?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make
Jeez.
sure I thought there would be some other pun or something, but okay. Go ahead. All right, sorry.
Once upon a time, there was a young man named Jack. And he lived with his mother on a broken down farm in the country. Now, Jack and his mother, they were poor. They weren't just poor, they were very, very poor. They were like poor. Like, even the poor people felt sorry for them. They were that poor. I'm not talking like poor like I can't afford cable. I'm talking poor like I don't have shoes poor. You know what I'm saying? And they finally were forced to sell their possessions for food. So one day, Jack's mother, she told Jack, she said, you take this cow, our family cow, because back in that day, everybody had a cow. Honey, nowadays everybody has a dog, especially those mixed breed, the cockapoo, that kind of thing. Well, back in the day, everybody had a cow. I don't know why it was a thing. It was kind of a status symbol to have a cow.
Okay. Can we just move on? Thank you.
Anyway,
All right.
so Jack, he take the cow to town to sell the cow. Get some money, buy some food. That's his job. But along the way to town, young Jack, he happens to meet a mysterious stranger. Yes, this mysterious stranger, he wasn't very mysterious, as most mysterious strangers are, but he was also strangely and unexplainably charismatic. And he seemed like a heck of a nice guy. Jack had to stop and rest. They talked. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, mysterious stranger is offering to save Jack the trip into town and to buy his cow from him in exchange for a handful of beans. But not just any beans. These were magic beans. And these were not just any magic beans. These were magic talking beans.
Hello. Hey, hi, we're beans.
What?
Yeah.
What? Magic talking beans?
Yeah, talking beans.
Talking beans?
All right. You never talked to a bean before? Never talked to vegetables? I mean, why?
No.
It's hard to believe that because we're vegetables we don't talk? I mean,
It's not. There aren't talking beans in the story.
Yes, I gotta continue, please.
There aren't talking beans.
Thank you.
I bet.
Anyway, Jack, he wasn't so excited. He said, I could make a mint doing this. I could tour. I could do concerts. I could do stand-up comedy. I mean, I got talking vegetables. Who doesn't like that? Well, Jack was so excited he ran all the way home. And I mentioned to you before he didn't have shoes, so he was barefoot. So that's a lot of, wear and tear on the feet, but he didn't care. He got home to show his mother what he had done. And, well, as you might guess, his mother was less than enthusiastic.
Hey there, Mama. How you doing, baby?
She wasn't so happy about talking beans.
What's up, baby? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Come on, what's your problem?
She was pretty upset. She threw the talking beans out the window. She was so upset.
That was cold. Now, that was cold. That was very cold. Why would you do
Jack,
that like
he
that?
felt very, very bad, very guilty. He thought his mother would be happy about the talking beans and his career prospects, but no, this was not the case.
What's wrong with us? She threw it.
So they went to bed hungry and depressed that night. But the next morning, when Jack awoke,
What? There's a big beanstalk or something?
no,
No.
no, they were just a bunch of talking beans.
Hello, that's us. We're
Talking beans?
The story is called Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
but it's beanstalk. There's a big Sorry. Fine. Go ahead.
When Jack awoke the next morning, he awoke to a strange sound. He heard talking. Lots and lots of talking.
over there, okay? I
Well, he opened his window and he looked out, and what did he see? Talking beans. But not just a handful of talking beans. There was a whole field full of talking beans. Over the night, his magic beans, they felt kind of guilty about getting Jackie into trouble. So they called their friends and their family, and they gathered them together for one giant beanstalk conference. This wasn't just beans, too. They also had some zucchini. They had a few pumpkins. There was a really, really fascinating squash who was delivering a lecture on global warming that everybody found absolutely fascinating and a little disturbing, quite honestly. It was amazing. It was a whole conference full of talking vegetables. But what they did not know was that there was a giant who lived just south of the village, and he had a fondness for vegetables. He was trying to lose weight, and so he was eating a lot of salad, you know. But you know how it is when you're on a diet, you get grumpy a lot of the time, and the giant, he didn't like all of this talking he was hearing. It was driving him crazy. So he goes stomping over to Jack's house to see what the noise is, and he says, "A fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman." And who's making all that racket? Could we keep it down over here? Sounds like a bunch of talking vegetables. And he goes stomping around, and Jack, he's afraid that the giant is going to squash the squash. So he says, "Mama, give me my axe." And he comes running out with his axe, and he's going to chop it down the giant, at least, you know, I don't know, poke him in the toe or something. And all of a sudden, the giant stops. And it's apparent that the giant is listening.
Because being big is gonna be hard.
And then he says, "Yeah, you know, you're right. You're right." And he kneels down. And Jack realizes that the giant, she's listening.
In yourself.
Turns out there was a rutabaga having a small self-help discussion about personal awareness, and the giant was very interested in it. They were discussing some of the works by Marianne Williamson and some spiritual writings, and the next thing you know, the giant, he's sitting, he's talking with the vegetables, he's singing along with the turnip family. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And they all live happily ever after.
What about Jack and his mom?
What do you mean?
Well, do they stop being poor?
No, but they got plenty of salad.
Tons of salad. Yeah, lots of salad. Lots of salad.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of salad. And croutons, too.
Everything is awesome.